Hey there, on the Mark world. It is Mark Hespin here, and obviously last night NBA Finals conclude. The Denver Nuggets, congrats to them, first championship in NBA history for them. Obviously, we'll talk a lot about that on the show on Saturday, but it is a Tuesday. Saturday's a long ways away, so I wanted to get some initial thoughts, and that's why we have this YouTube channel to fill in the kind of gaps throughout the week when I only am on the air on Saturday mornings. Initial thoughts on Denver winning. Obviously, I predicted Denver in 5, so I felt confident about Denver taking care of the Heat in 5 games. Let's just be honest. The Heat just didn't have enough firepower. They weren't tall enough. Honestly, like the size of Denver was too much to handle. And the star players for Denver, Jokic and Jamal Murray, were terrific throughout the series. Jokic especially, deserving MVP of the finals. And you know what? A lot of people are making the noise on Twitter and social media this morning about, Joel Embiid winning the MVP, Jokic not winning the MVP. I said it at the end of the regular season. I would have taken Jokic or Giannis as MVPs over Joel Embiid. But neither here nor there. Jokic is now in that category with Giannis, which is so great that we in the NBA have this right now. Where he's a legitimate championship superstar in his prime. The NBA's in this transitional mode. Steph Curry's getting older. LeBron James is getting older. Kevin Durant is moving out of his prime. And you have this kind of void of who are the superstars in their prime who have actually won championships. And right now, you have to look at it and you say the guys are Jokic and Giannis. Everyone else who's won championships recently is no longer in their prime and no longer the kind of alpha dominant players in the NBA. The Denver Nuggets aren't going anywhere. This is a team that I can see absolutely being involved in deep playoff runs, in championship games, in the Western Conference Finals, and in the NBA Finals for the next 2 or 3 years. Absolutely, depending on how all the moves work out. Mainly because Jokic, a lot like Giannis, and I feel about the Bucks on the Eastern Conference side, he doesn't seem to want to go anywhere. He seems like this is a great place for him to be. He's got a great coach. His brothers are accepted. He's got a Robin in Jamal Murray. And it seems very much similar to the Bucks, where you have your kind of core, and now you can keep retooling and rebuilding. But unlike the Bucks, it feels like they have their coach, and Malone really fits with them. You never know if a message will fall on deaf ears. Doesn't seem like that's going to happen with the Denver Nuggets. Kudos to them. Congrats to them. And for Miami, my thoughts with Miami is they'll be back. Miami, was the 1 seed last year. They had a really down year offensively in the regular season this year, and forced them to have a really tough road to get to the NBA Finals, having to go through Milwaukee in round 1, having to go play home, not have home court advantage against the Knicks and having to travel to New York, having to go to Boston and having, Boston be the home court advantage and playing Game 7 in Boston. They were exhausted. They were gassed by the time they ran into the buzzsaw, which is the better team, bigger, and just more talented Denver Nuggets team with possibly the best player in the world right now. Him and Giannis, I still flip a coin a little bit, Jokic and Giannis. And so I think Miami will be back. Miami is also always going to be a destination. They're one of the most unique markets in all of professional sports. There's no team in the NFL quite like Miami. Maybe you could argue the Rams are a little bit like that in the NFL, where they have a culture, they have a coach, and they have the ability to just retool, revamp, reload, and guys want to play in Miami, and you don't get some sort of stigma that you've left your team and you're playing for Miami. Jimmy Butler's been moved around the league. LeBron came and went. Shaq came and won a title there. Miami's kind of open and welcome to all superstars. So expect Miami to be back 100%. What we're going to talk a lot about on the show on Saturday is where the NBA as a whole is, the culture is going. The Euros that and the foreign-born players are dominating this league right now. what the future of NBA basketball looks like for American basketball, and where is the young American superstar that can get on the level of the Jokic's, the Giannis's, and be, the Lukas, the Embiids, all foreign-born players. Do we have that American superstar who can lead their team to the promised land? Very excited about this weekend show. Can't wait. Tune on in Saturday morning on the Mark, News Talk 1070 KHMO, KHMO app. Follow On the Mark KHMO on Facebook. Search me on Twitter and Instagram at Mark Hespin. We'll see you on Saturday. Congrats to the Nuggets for getting their first ever NBA championship. And we'll have a lot to talk about this Saturday show.